Hello, everybody, and welcome to Joker's Wild Side Corner. I am El Lobo, and today we're bringing back Joker's Corner. We've been off really for a few months due to scheduling issues and personal problems and illnesses as well. But we are back, or I'm back at least for now, um, as Jackson is taking care of some personal stuff as well. But we are back. We're switching the schedule up to be instead of Monday and Tuesday, we're gonna go Thursdays, um, and we'll be doing once a week till I get a better handle of working it by myself. But it'll be once a week, talking about sports, wrestling, and entertainment, and anything we love. As it's been like that since we started. But let's start off this week, as week one's about to start here tonight in the NFL season. We do have tonight we have the defending champions Kansas City Chiefs going up against Baltimore Ravens there at Kansas City. It was, give me a second, let me bring up that picture here that I took. The Chiefs are favored by 3. Not by a lot, but it's still favored. The last 4 against the spread, or against each other, for Ravens and Chiefs. Ravens are 1-4. But at week 1, the records from each individual team, we'll start with the Baltimore Ravens. They're 12-4, as in Harbaugh is. We have Jackson, who is he is 5-1 with, it says, with a 12-2 touchdown to interception ratio. So he is 1-6, 1 interception to every 6 touchdowns. So it's very, very good. Total offense for the Ravens, last year. This is for last year, by the way. 370 per game, 6th overall. We have defensive is 301, 6th overall as well. So they were very good both in offense and defense. In TOM, did not remember what it was stand for. I'll write it down and bring it up next time. But they're plus 12 last year, touchdown to interception ratio, I think. I may be wrong on that one, but it's 12, first overall in the league last year. 16th in special teams last year, and RAC quant. I don't know what that is, but moving on now to the Kansas City Chiefs here for tonight's game. Reed in week 1 is 11-8. It seems like a little worse record, but he's also been around longer as a head coach. Quarterback on week 1 record, we have 5-1, same as Jackson. So both Mahomes and Jackson have the same record. Touchdown to interception ratio is 20-1. I think it's still from week 1. Because last year I know they had more interceptions. But that's 1 in every 20 you get interception. That is very, very good for week 1 for Mahomes. Total offense, this is now going into last year's, 351 yards per game, 9th overall, a little below Baltimore. We had total defense 289, 2nd overall, better than Baltimore. Excuse me. We had -11. Oh, on turnover margin. Sorry, that's what that is. TOM. Ravens were plus 12, first in the league, and the Kansas City Chiefs were -11, for tied for 28th. So they were one of the worst on that. Special teams, they were 14th. They were very good special teams. Well, kind of like in the mid. And then don't know what that one is. But what makes a big difference here is, one, the head-to-head record, as the Chiefs against this Ravens team with Jackson are 1-4. That means that they win most of the time. And now this is the banner night. This is opening week. And another thing that's kind of bugging me is that Baltimore has replaced 2 or 3 of their offensive linemen during the offseason. So as we all know, it takes a while for them to start meshing. So this is gonna take, I think, a few weeks for them to get this correct. If for whatever reason they do click, I think they'll have a great running game, especially with Henry also being added during the offseason. But on the flip side, Kansas City has reloaded on their offensive weapons, getting through the draft or through off-season acquisitions. The Chiefs have reloaded the offense to get Mahomes more weapons, and as we see, 20-1, 20 touchdowns, 1 interception. He scores more than he gives up the ball, so he does protect the ball very, very well. I don't think -3 is enough for the Chiefs. I think they will win. I don't go with the spread too much because it complicates things. I'm picking the winner. I think Kansas City will win opening night here. I think the only way Baltimore wins is if their offensive line for some reason clicks already with the 2 or 3 new linemen, and Henry and Jackson have great games where the Kansas City Chiefs can't get off the field and beats them down, and towards the end of the game, it's just Ravens throwing it down, beating them down pretty much. So I have Chiefs here taking Week 1 opening game here. But yeah, other games. Here we have one tomorrow. We have Green Bay and Philadelphia. I think this one's the one in Sao Paulo, Brazil. Home team is technically Philly. Philly is favored by 2. Green Bay did have a great year last year. They did make it to the playoffs, if I remember correctly. Philly kind of fell off at the end of the year due to, I really don't know. It's just the last 6 weeks, I think they won 1 or 2 games. So I still believe in Philly though, because besides the Raiders, as you can see, they are my NFC team. I kind of root for. I think Philly will win. It'll be a close one, but I'm not 100% sure on that because Green Bay was especially the back end. It kind of flipped around Green Bay and Philly's season. Philly started hot and ended shitty, and Green Bay Packers started okay, but as the year went on, was it luck? Well, Green Bay's quarterback played very top level football and turned that team around at the end of the season. So they flipped the seasons from one to another, but I think Philly will take that win. Then on Sunday is our main bulk of the games here. We're gonna go one by one. I'm not gonna go too much into it because it is week 1. Like I said, we're gonna go after I do my picks and a few little new stuff. I'll do my top 6 and my bottom 6 teams. But like I said, it's also very suggestion, and it's also week 1. So it's just everything is a grain of salt for now. We have the first game is Pittsburgh at Atlanta. Atlanta favored by 3.5. I'll take Pittsburgh here just because I'm not sure what's going on with Atlanta. Too much. I haven't paid attention too much to Atlanta, but they are favored by 3.5. I think Pittsburgh wins here. We got Arizona at Buffalo. Buffalo ended last year with a disappointing end again, getting beat by, I think, the Chiefs, was it? Or the Ravens? Either way, they got beat in the playoffs again, did not make it to the Super Bowl, as their Super Bowl window is kind of closing. But they are favored by 6.5 points, and I'll take Buffalo just to win overall. I mentioned the spread, but I don't go off of it. We have Tennessee at Chicago. Chicago's favored by 3.5. Tennessee last year, do not know what happened, where the whole team fell apart. The year before, they were Super Bowl contenders. So I'll take Chicago here to take the victory. It'll be a close game, probably low scoring, to be honest with you. We have New England at Cincinnati. New England last year was a total bust. I have Cincinnati taking that win, and Cincinnati's favored by 8.5 due to last year's crappy season by New England, which as you can see, I'm kind of happy about. Houston at Indianapolis. Houston had the miraculous comeback year last year, going from worst team in the NFL to best with the quarterback CJ Stroud. Yeah. And Indianapolis last year had an up and down season with with their quarterback being in and out in the first 5 weeks and then completely out for the rest of the season, the rookie quarterback. Houston is favored by 3. It is Indianapolis at Indiana. I'll take Houston and win a close game. It'll be a good game, though. It'll show if Richardson is up to par and up to play like CJ Stroud. Possibly have a great season like Houston did last year. We have Jacksonville at Miami next. Miami's favored by 3.5. I think that's too low, but I know last year was off a weird season for Jacksonville. I think they had a lot of injuries, so I think Miami still pulls this off. It is in Miami, so it'll probably in the middle of the day it'll be hot as hell. Jacksonville is a Florida team; they'll be fine. But Miami will take the win on this one, in my opinion. We have Carolina and New Orleans. New Orleans favored by 4. New Orleans, I haven't really paid attention too much to this, besides that their car is still in New Orleans, I believe, and Carolina sucked last year. So I don't think anything much is going to change. I think New Orleans will take the win here. Till proven otherwise, Carolina will always take a loss in my book, unless they play New England or something like that, or New York Giants. Next, speaking of the Giants, they'll be at home facing Minnesota. Minnesota's favored by 1.5. I have not paid attention to any of these teams due to the lack of really movement, but also New York really sucked last year. They were one of the worst, and then Minnesota kind of, I'm not going to say fell off, but had an off year for sure. I'll take Minnesota to take the win at New York. And then we have the Las Vegas Raiders at LA to play face the Chargers. Chargers are favored by 3.5. I'm gonna go into it a little more in the bottom and top 6 teams here, but not a lot of excitement for this season for the Raiders. So many of their surprises, but it's just what I've seen. They're trying to build the team back up, so they got to start somewhere, and usually that's the bottom. I want to pick the Raiders. I'm gonna stay away from this game, just because it is a little bias on me, but I'm still gonna watch. It'll be midday. Hopefully, the Raiders could pull off the first week win. But LA Chargers by paper are stacked, so we will see here on Sunday. After that, we got another rivalry from the West. The Denver Broncos are at Seattle Seahawks. Seattle are favored by 6, probably because they're at home. They also had a lot of turnover last year from forcing their coach out, which is ridiculous. I don't understand what happened. But also, Denver kind of in a weird situation with quarterback specifically. I'll pick Seattle here just for 2 reasons. One's they're at home, and I think they have a little more stability, at least on quarterback position. We will see after this week, but Denver also has the opportunity to really step up here and change that the outlook people have again from the last few years on them. Next, we have Dallas at Cleveland Cavaliers. Browns. We have the Browns are favored by 2.5. I really don't know about this game. They're both kind of top mid here. I'm gonna give it to Dallas because they usually start pretty good, and I haven't heard too much transition from Cleveland to say they've improved much. They were good last year, but I still haven't seen enough. After that, we got the Washington Commanders at Tampa Bay here. Tampa Bay's here by 3.5. I'm not sure about either of these teams. I think they're both gonna be mid to low tier here. I'll give it to Tampa Bay, though. They are at home. The final game for Sunday Night Football, we got the LA Rams at Detroit Lions. The Detroit is favored by 4.5. They are Super Bowl contenders last year and most likely this year as well. If they continue on that path, I do give it to Detroit as they are at home, and I think they have the better team overall. And then finally, for Monday night, we have the New York Jets for the second year in a row, starting on Monday night, I believe, at San Fran. San Fran is favored 4.5, but they are without their um, offensive lineman Trent, so I think they're gonna struggle a little bit. And then depending how Aaron Rodgers plays, that's gonna tell a lot on how New York season is gonna go. But I think this is gonna be a closer game than that. I think San Fran still pulls off the win. Very, very slightly. I'll probably be a 1 or 2 point game here. 4.5. I think that's too much for now. It's just that offensive lineman trend for San Francisco is a big deal. We saw what happened last year. They lost him, and I think they went on a 1-4, 2-3 skit when he was out with injury. So I'll pick the San Fran's, but barely. This could go either way, especially with that news here. Those are my picks for this week. We also have some breaking news here for, sorry, as I bring that up, for, God damn it, this phone is weird. Okay, so we have a few breaking news here. First, Chiefsaholic fan, the wolf that was robbing banks to go see the games, has been given 17 and a half years, I think it was. Yeah, 17 and a half years for armed robberies and other stuff, exactly. But that's 17 years that you're not going to be able to see the Chiefs, bro, live. Your own fault. But other breaking news, we have the Commanders have fired the vice president of content after he did some comments on Jerry Jones and Roger Goodell. It's kind of hard to go out to the top dogs in the NFL and not get a shit canned. So that sucks for him, but also in the PC politically correct, you attack someone, you might just lose your job too. Other than that, let's jump into what is my top 6 and bottom 6 teams here of this pre-NFL season, and I'll give you my Super Bowl favorites here. Let's start with the bottom 6, just so we could finish the NFL in a high note. So I mentioned this a little bit for the Raiders. I think they're the 6th worst team right now, just because they don't have a lot of hype coming in, and I know that doesn't always make the season. Like last year, Kansas City did not have a lot of crazy hype behind them, but they won the Super Bowl the year before. And there's not a lot of big name acquisitions or movements here for the Raiders. The expectations are real low coming from a Raider fan. So I do not see them doing much. But hopefully, after these 22 years of more than winning, sucking, with expectations coming every year, possible playoff, possible Super Bowl win again, or appearance. With, like, when Moss was signed, we were ecstatic. When Sapp came over, we were ecstatic. And through the years, that's been the same thing. A few signings and we're off the charts. We're like, we're gonna win, we're gonna go to the playoffs, all that. This year, none of that. There was even a video going viral for a second when someone asked a Raider fan kid, like, what do you think the season's gonna be like? We're probably gonna not do well. It's just the feeling around is the Las Vegas Raiders will be average at best here. But who knows? Hopefully they prove me wrong, because I'm kind of tired of seeing them suck. The 5th is also in our division. I think Denver Broncos will suck as well, just a little worse than the Raiders. Just that quarterback position is very, very important, and Denver has been in a rotation for the last 6-10 years, something like that. And just because we're in the same division, I had to put them below the Raiders. I was not going to put them anywhere better than the Raiders, but who knows? We'll see as the season goes by. At number 4, I have the crappy Commanders, Washington Commanders. Last year they were bad. The year before that they were bad. All this bad publicity since Snyder, the arena being terrible, the way they treat their players. This now VP It's just nothing about it seems that they scream victory. Even when they put on something for the fans, which was their was the corner or safety, the statue, quote unquote, and looked very crappily made. Well, yeah, I have them at 4. At number 3, worst is New England Patriots. Last year was a disaster. It was a terrible, terrible year. And I don't with Belichick gone, um, and everything in complete uh, transition. I think New England is going to struggle again this year, but we will see. At number 2, they got rid of their running back. Last year they sucked. Obviously, their quarterback is not working out. New York Giants. Last year they were extremely bad. This year I don't think they're going to be any better. And then number 1, Carolina Panthers. Like I said when I talked about the games against New Orleans, to prove them otherwise. Last year they were 1 in, what is it, 17 or 16. This year, to prove otherwise, they are the bottom. They will continue to be the bottom. But hopefully some of these teams prove me wrong, specifically the Raiders. But we will have to wait and see after the season, right? Now we're gonna move into our top 6, and after that I'll tell you about 2 or 3 of my Super Bowl possible winners here. At number 6, I have the Jets. I am worried about Aaron Rodgers just with his age and that 1 year almost completely off. He only played, as I said, 3 snaps, 4 snaps, 4 minutes. I think it was total. But if they get rolling, their defense is young, and last year pretty much won him a lot of games. As we know how Sack is. Was a Sack? Well, the other quarterback, the youngster, trash. I'm sorry, he just does not have the mentality to be a starting quarterback. But the defense brought out a lot of wins for them then. I think if Aaron Rodgers plays well and is able to be consistent through a year, I think the Jets will have a playoff contention and possibly a Super Bowl contention. We will have to wait and see. Excuse me. At number 5, it's a draw, just because depends on injuries. As the last few years, depending on injury, it will flop division. But Ravens/Bengals. If they're both healthy, I think it'll be Bengals and then Ravens. But for now, it's a tie. It all depends on their injury. They rely too much on certain people, and when those are injured, you see the fall off. So they'll be tied number 5. At number 4, I have the Eagles, even though they fell off last year, especially at the end of the year. I think the Eagles will have a comeback year. I don't think they'll be as dominant as they were the last few years with Kelsey being retired, but they'll figure something out. They have a good head coach. They are my number 4 pick. At my number 3, I have the defending Super Bowl champs, Kansas City Chiefs. I was debating putting them at 2 or 1, but history has it that there is never been a 3-time repeating champion. This year, I think they'll be good. They're always going to be possibly the best in the West again. Very high percentage on that. But that three-peat has never been done in the NFL, and I don't think it's going to happen here. But if anybody could do it, it'd probably be them. But I have them at number 3. At number 2, I have the team that just missed their Super Bowl. The last few minutes of that game, let it go through their hands. Detroit Lions. As long as they continue the same trajectory, they play like they did last year, and show that guts and resilience, I think they'll be a great fucking team this year. And my number 1 is the one that lost the Super Bowl last year, the 49ers. There was not a lot of turnover on them. They did have some issues with contracts, but once people get paid, they'll be fine. Or they'll work it out as the season goes by. But also, the Trent will be out early in the season, as I mentioned at the Monday night game. So I think they'll have him for the rest of the season. And as long as they continue to play well, and Brock Purdy continues to develop and continues to protect the ball, they will be great in that offense and that team overall. So yeah, 49ers will be my number 1 team of the preseason. My favorites to win it all, I'll give you two and then one honorable mention. I think uh, two honorable mentions. I think 49ers are the favorite to win, period. And I think Kansas City is another one. Obviously, it's never happened, but they are favorites regardless. It's Kansas City. They've been to four of the last five or six Super Bowls, so it's ridiculous right now. It's their era right now. Um, Honorable mentions, I have Detroit and the Ravens, just with the addition of King Henry to Jackson's running game. I think will be tremendous. Jackson is more aloof, and Henry is more power. If I remember correctly, I didn't see Henry play that much last year, but I think those are honorable mentions: Detroit and Ravens. Um, with another one being the Buffalo Bills, just because I am rooting for them. Because one, the four Super Bowls lost straight. Even though I don't have like top six, they just didn't have a lot of movement in the preseason to put them in the top six. But I think they'll be good with Josh Allen on there. I think they'll be good. The thing is, depends how the rest of the team develops during the year. But yeah, those are my favorites to win the Super Bowl. It's like 49ers, my number one pick to win it all. But we will have to wait and see on that. With that, we're going to move on to some baseball, some Major League Baseball here, as we will go over the top six and bottom six teams here. Let's start bottom six, as we do have at number six, we have the Washington Nationals. They're on a 2-game losing streak, and their record is 62 and 77. Baseball is a very long season, so I mean they're down right now, but they could easily jump up. What the hell happened? Sorry, my computer went off. But they could easily jump off. Like New York Mets were at the bottom of the list earlier. Now they're towards the top of the standings, having a resurgence here after the All-Star break. We have the Oakland Athletics at 5, a losing games of 2, 61 and 80 overall record with the 5-5 last 10 record. After that, we have the Los Angeles Angels, who just after they lost what's his name to the Dodgers, they they have just sucked this year with the 58 and 81 record. They have won the last one. It was against the Dodgers. 4-6 the last 10, and the bottom three all eliminated teams already from the playoffs. We have Miami Marlins at 3, 52 and 87 record. They've won the last one 6-4, so they're a little bit on a win streak here of the last 10. 6-4, but they already are eliminated. It's a little too late for them. After that, we have the Colorado Rockies. Unfortunate for all you in Denver, they're 51 and 89. Jeez, last 3 lost. So streak of losing 3, and 3-7 in the last 10. Really bad, but not as bad as the number one worst team in the major leagues, which is the Chicago White Sox, as they are 32 and 109. Jeez, they suck. The last game, they won the last one. Before that, they were 0-9. So the last 10, they've won 1, lost 9. That is horrendous. No wonder they're in the bottom here. That is definitely the worst team in the major leagues. But now we're going to move up into the top 6 teams, all of which have about a 99% chance of making the playoffs here. At number 6, we have the New York Yankees, who are in a bit of a slump, but they're still top 6 here with an 80 and 60 record. They do have last 2 games have lost, but they are 4-6 on the last 10. A little bit of a slump, not too crazy, but they are on points. They're 118 difference on points differential from the teams that they've played. They are number 2 in the majors in that stat. The only one better is another team that's above the list. We'll talk about it in a bit. At number 5, we got Cleveland Guardians. I don't know why they're changing all his name. With the same record as the Yankees, 80-60. They've lost the last game, and the last 10 they're 500. We're 5-5. At number 4, we have the Baltimore Orioles, who have been surprising a lot of people this year at 81-60, half a game ahead of New York Yankees here, and Guardians with last game also have lost. Everybody at the top also have just lost the last game. With again a 505 last 10 record. The next one is number 3 with Milwaukee Brewers, also surprising a lot of people. With an 81-59 record, one game ahead of half a game ahead of the Orioles and one ahead of Guardians and the Yankees. They are 6-4 in the last 10 and have lost the last 2. So a bit of a slump, but they're also, the differential on runs is where they excel at. Is 135th that's their number 1 stat here for the Milwaukee Brewers. So they could score and outscore you by a lot. At number 2, we got the Philadelphia Phillies with an 83-56 record. Sorry, half a game ahead of the Brewers. The last 10, they are 8-4, and they have a 4-game winning streak. They're the only one in the top 6 with the winning streak, so that says a lot. But they are hot right now. I don't know who they play next, but I'll take a look at that in a bit. And at number 1 by half a game, which is unfortunate because they just lost to the Angels, one of the worst teams. The Los Angeles Dodgers here with 84-56. Last 10, they're 7-3. I think there's only one team better than them in the last 10, which is the New York Mets. Like I said, they've been very, very hot with the 7-game winning streak. The New York Mets are quickly climbing up the charts here to get back into the playoff run. But yeah, number 1 is Dodgers, which I am super excited about. For those that don't know, yes, that's right, Dodgers fan, die hard. But yeah, they are number 1 right now. They were filled with injuries early in the season, and now they seem to be coming back here as the season is starting to wind down. Tonight, we have a few games. We have 2 games going on right now. We have the Phillies at Miami. Phillies going to take that, so they probably get that 5th win in a row. Tonight, we also have any notable ones. Nah, that's really the only notable one right there is Philadelphia. The rest are just mid, Colorado, Atlanta, nothing big. Tomorrow we have a lot of games. We have the Yankees going up against Chicago. Yankees favorite. Another big game, we have Baltimore going up against Tampa Bay at Baltimore. Mets going up against Cincinnati. Maybe they'll continue that win streak there. Philly and Miami again. Philly should, I think they're going to go on an 8-game winning streak, 9-game winning streak here if they continue that trend. And then another one that's very, very good to end up tomorrow night at 8. We have Cleveland Guardians at Los Angeles Dodgers. That could be a possible World Series matchup there, as they're both in the top 6, at least mine. Saturday, we have, again, New York, Chicago, Baltimore, Tampa Bay. I'm just running them off notable games. Milwaukee, Colorado. Milwaukee should destroy Colorado, but Philly at Miami again. New York, Mets at Cincinnati. And then LA versus Cleveland. But yeah, there'll be, from what I see here, I go over the stands again. Overall, the New York Mets could easily climb up in this weekend to possibly just outside of top 6 if they continue this win streak. Phillies it looks like they're going to win the next few games here, so they could possibly jump to number one. But other than that, that's all I have for baseball. We're going to move into MLS here. Give me a second. Let me bring it up. We were doing that competition on picks between me, Jackson, and Clay. Obviously, with the schedule and personal stuff going on, we haven't been able to get together to continue filming the corner. But I will go over a few things here. By the way, congratulations to Clay, as they announced that they're having another baby. Congratulations, Clay. We'll go over just the top teams here in the MLS. We have at number one for the East, we have Inter Miami, obviously with Messi there. Goal differential of 22. I think they're the second best. With that, they have 59 points to their name. They're the best team in the league. With 51 points. In the East, we have the FC Cincinnati at number 2 with 12 goals differential. And then the number 3, we have Columbus Crew with the 49 points and a 28-point differential here. So they win, and they win big. And now for the West, we have, this is freaking great, as both my teams and then Clay's and Jackson's team also on here at number 1 on the West. Jesus, what's up with my computer? Oh, Jesus, excuse me. Give me a second. There we go. We have at number 1, we have LA Galaxy, 15-7-6, 7 draws, 6 losses. Goal differential is 15, 52 points. They're the second best team in the league. At number 2, we have LAFC, who are the defending champions, if I remember correctly. With 16 goal differential. They've come back from that horrendous loss in Salt Lake. It was a really bad loss, but they have 47 points. And draw for number 2/3. We have Real Salt Lake, also with 47 points here, as those teams seem to be the front runners to win the MLS Cup here. The schedule coming up this week. Let's see when it loads. Why does it always do this, man? Telling for the schedule, it gives me every league. No, man. Let me. It's not giving me anything. Well, we'll keep you posted on that here. Here we go. MLS. Okay. Okay, hold on. As the scores here, they have September 7th. That was yesterday. No, this Saturday. In big games, let's see what we have. We have LA going against Houston. Houston is still trying to get a playoff, and Houston is a plus 110. We also have. No, that's it. Those are the only games. Nope. Sunday. This Sunday we have no games. Monday. Let's see if it gives us nothing. Tuesday. Nothing. Why the hell are they giving me these days if they're not playing? Nope. No games. All right. So this week we only have that game that's really important. Houston versus LAFC. We'll keep you posted on their standings here as we go on. But with that said, we will go into a little break here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Joker's Wild Side Corner. Before we move on to pro wrestling and entertainment, please join me right after this broadcast here for a watch along to Thursday night game of Kansas City versus Baltimore Ravens. We'll be doing a watch along as soon as it starts, so join me there in a few hours or so. Uh, Moving now into pro wrestling, we're gonna do a little. Let's talk about some of the shows that came up this week. Um, Specifically what happened yesterday with AEW Dynamite, as things were wild. We had a great promo from MJF and Daniel Garcia. They got really personal real quick there. Crowd reactions. I mean, you could feel the way they were talking. It was just very personal. They're digging into each other for sure. We had some good matches. We had the Okada and who was it? Kyle Fletcher for the title. Extremely good match. I mean, there was never a doubt that Okada would lose, but Kyle Fletcher definitely showed a lot of heart, um, and that he could possibly be a future champion as well. Um, Also, the ending of that show with the contract signing between Swerve and Adam Page for that cage match coming out this weekend for AEW All Out. The way it ended was crazy. I'll go more into detail here when we go top six wrestlers of the week. Uh, it was it was just a great overall promo and ending shot to that AEW Dynamite. So good. Like I said, I'll go more into detail when we talk about the top six wrestlers. Um, but yeah, also last week Moxley coming out and saying that this was a some not the same company or not under their control, whatever exactly were the wordings, but pretty much like there was a new boss going around. But uh, we still haven't heard more on that besides him calling out Darby Allin. So uh, excited to see where that goes because it's looking crazy. Other than that, NXT, I did not watch Raw or NXT. I was a little under the weather, so I would have to go back and see what exactly happened. The only thing I do remember is it looks like Dominic saved Rhea from possibly getting really hurt as she almost slammed her head on the floor in that spot where she was beating up Dom and all that, and she fell through the ropes. Um, but yeah, it was close to being a head injury on that one. Other than that, I don't remember much from those shows. Like I said, I was under the weather, so I did not watch them, unfortunately. Um, but some news coming out from wrestling. First, we have an update on Adam Copeland's leg injury, hurts broken leg. He said he had surgery like 3 months ago, and he's not sure how recovery is, how long it takes, but he said he's doing very, very good. So possibly return any in the next few months or so. But yeah, hopefully he gets back into the title picture, and hopefully also he continues wrestling for a little while longer. I would like to see him and Brian Danielson, sorry, for the AEW World Title, hopefully soon. Um, we also have news on Asuka. She has re-signed to the WWE. There was rumors going around that she might have been let go or her contract expired, so she was no longer with the company. But uh, confirmation has been said that Asuka will be in WWE for a few more years. Uh, Another AEW star possibly returning soon, as uh, Hobbs was spotted this week backstage in Dynamite. He has not been seen since that injury. Excuse me. He suffered against Moxley for that New Japan, the IWGP World Championship match he had a while back. So hopefully he's back soon, as he was actually getting a big push before he got injured. One thing I do remember from Raw is that there was going to be a new announcing with Pat McAfee going into the college game day, and Cole going back to SmackDown. Uh, the new announcer Joe Tessitore first announced a gig here on Raw. A lot of people bashing him But in all honesty, yes, was it good? No. One, it was also his first Raw, and second, sometimes it takes people a while to acclimate to a new job, a new position. So uh, I'm not writing him off yet, but definitely not a good showing to start. So they'll probably give him a few more chances here before they uh, before they decide anything. But I think he'll be fine. I think he probably the nerves and getting used to the way they work really with the headset, the notes, and everything moving fast. So I'm sure he'll get acclimated pretty soon here. So we'll see this next week on Raw if he improves. But yeah, there was gaps in his knowledge or the way he was performing on the mic. So possibly much to improve on, but I still don't judge him off of this one yet. So he will get better, I'm sure. Um, and then the big news of the week, actually since last week, was the release of Odyssey Jones, who was just being pushed. Released from WWE, sorry, who was just being pushed to be the new member of the New Day, and possibly bringing a little divide there from for New Day from Xavier and Kofi Kingston, but they did not mention him at all on Raw. He's off of their website. No comment has been said on why. A lot of speculations, apparently some super bad stories, so we'll have to wait and see, but it looks like his wrestling career, at least with WWE, is gone. It's over. Before we move on here, we're going to jump into the top 6 wrestlers of the week, and I don't want to call them bad moments, but I'm going to call them off moments from the last few weeks that it's like either bad booking or stuff personally that I don't like. Watches possibly as well, but I'm just gonna call them off moments or off things in wrestling this week. We'll start off with that. The first one is it's kind of an off moment, but a good save was who was it? There was a botch on the match for the NXT North American Women's Championship between Chu and what's her name? Kalani Jordan. They did a good job, well, pretty good job saving what you could with the botch like that. But obviously, some of these stars from NXT specifically are very. The timing is off, and there's quite a few botches. They need to clean that up, but that's expected as they are green, or greener than at least most. But hopefully, that's not a big problem going forward. Another one that has been bugging me ever for a while was Darby's booking lately. His loss to the Scapegoat in AEW All In that casket match. Like I said, during that, the Scapegoat was controlling that whole match. It just did not make Darby look good, per se. And also Mox calling him out, saying he just wants to talk, and Darby not appearing at all makes him look a little weak, or just not great booking. We know Darby Allin is a maniac and he does a lot of crazy shit. Maybe he's injured, I don't know, but definitely the booking is a little off on that one. This one, I'm not too upset with it, but also her being a former champion and being built as this monster, her booking has been very weak, especially this AEW Dynamite this week. Her challenge for the title against May, Nyla Rose looked very weak. She did have good moments, but she did not look like that wrecking ball that she was as champion or around that time. So she's definitely looking like she's stepping down a bit. But it's part of the show, as we can't always be on top, but it's more like a roller coaster. And then the last thing is just a personal thing. The returning hater, her outfit just is personally it's just too colorful for me. I really don't like it. I liked her with the darker colors, but I also like darker colors, period. So that might just be a me thing, but it's just too it's a bit off. Like if there was some some blacks and thrown in there, I would like it better. It's just too colorful personally for me, but that's just a nitpicky thing. But she's looking good back in the ring, having her second match this week. Looked very, very good. So I'm happy about that. But anyway, now that we got the negative out of the way, let's go into our top 6 wrestlers of the week. The first one is a two for us. They're a tag team. We got Axiom and Frazier gaining back the NXT tag titles from Chase U. They look, for a moment there, they looked like they were going to lose them as Axiom super kicked Frazier, and then there was another miscommunication, but they ended up getting them back. So congratulations to them. They're in my 6th spot. At number 5, I'm gonna put. I want to switch this around, but I will not. I have a 3-way tie just because this AEW Dynamite and what they've been doing lately, a few matches they've had, and their usage in the program is all 3 AEW stars here: MJF, Daniel Garcia, and Adam Page. First, what they've been doing has been great. Daniel Garcia just coming back from injury, interfering in a match. The match with MJF and Will Ospreay, that was fucking great. And then Adam Page, who had a good showing in the Gauntlet match in All In. And then his promo last night was great. I mean, they had MJF and Daniel Garcia, like I said earlier. They got real personal, real great. It was very, very good. Talking a lot of smack to each other. And then Adam Page burning down the house that Swerve Strickland grew up in. He just had bought back from the banks. The way he went through the house, talking smack, it looked very ominous and creepy. And then later they showed him throwing gasoline in the house, and then leaving a trail out to a lazy boy on the outside in the table. And that shot of him lighting the match, tossing it, and you could see on camera the fire slowly take off up the stairs through the gasoline line he left, and the house igniting on fire. Beautiful, beautiful shot. And then him just sitting down and sipping as the house burned up. It also helped that Swerve Strickland was selling it very well. It looked like he almost broke down. But yeah, all 3 of them, MJF, Daniel Garcia, and Adam Page, in my 5th spot. Great promos this week. Great overall. At 4, I got Roxanne defending her title in NXT No Mercy. She definitely looked, for the first time since the NXT champion challenged her, she looked like she was going to get defeated as, oh man, I brain farted on her name. Give me a second. As Jada Parker, the NXT before that pay-per-view, she slapped the living shit out of Roxanne. But Roxanne put up the fight. Parker also looked good, but Roxanne winning and defending her title again. I mean, I'm a little biased on that one, but Roxanne is amazing. At number 3, I have the defending champion Gunther with the great match with Randy Orton in WWE Bash in Berlin. Great story. I think that was one of, if not the match of the night. Gunther looking great. Although this did happen in Raw, where he did not give Sami Zayn a challenge for that title, the opportunity, but makes him look a little weak. But it also goes with the story that Sami Zayn defeated Gunther for the IC championship, so that's still possibly fresh on his mind. At number 2, I have Will Ospreay. Sorry, I just had a change right now, real quick. Will Ospreay, although he had an amazing match, there was one guy who had about the same amazing match, and he's been doing great. And 1 and 2 you can really switch off, but Will Ospreay number 2, with that match he had with MJF, with the match he had on AEW Dynamite here this last week, his performance there with the 6-man tag match, the trios match, he was very, very good. And then number 2 is Brian Danielson. Sorry, I always get them confused, but same guy. The new world heavyweight champion. Great match at All In, and everything he's done since then has been great. He's been had an amazing year. But like I said, 1 and 2 you could kind of switch Daniel and Will. I'm excited to see what comes out of Will's run now, as Ricochet is now in the building, and I want to see them go at it and possibly put out another banger that lives on in infamy as well. But yeah, those are my top 6 wrestlers of the week. Honorable mentions here. I was gonna say this before one, but Randy Orton with his match with Gunther, he looked so good. Okada and Kyle Fletcher with the match they had in AEW Dynamite was amazing. I did not think Kyle Fletcher had a chance to win, but he definitely had a great showing. He also had a great showing in All In. So look out for him to be a champion soon. Possibly the throne Okada or Will, as I think they have a history there as well. When they're ready to put Okada or Will up to the main event, but either one would be great. Kyle Fletcher definitely showed that he deserves to be in the mid-top card, part of the card. So yeah, definitely excited for that. Moving on now into the last segment here, entertainment. Before we go into that, though, a little bit of both wrestling and entertainment. Netflix announced the give me a second. The documentary they've been working on with about Vince McMahon. Give me a second. Um, they released a video, a trailer for it. I have not seen it. I will do a reaction to it soon, so it'll be out there. Um, but yeah, it looks like they're not pulling any punches on what he did, what he was, and all that. I don't have a release date here. Oh, September 25th. It's called NFL documentary, just Mr. McMahon. It says Mastermind, Madman. They're not wrong. But yeah, that's coming out September 25th, it said. Let me double check again here. Yeah, September 25th. So I'll be getting the review to that trailer soon. Moving on to more entertainment news, we got I'm gonna do a review for the first season, but Batman Cape Crusader season 2 now in works. Excited for that. Season 1 I would do a review, but it was good. So can't wait for season 2 to come out. No date has been given yet on that. The Killers game also coming out here soon with Dave Bautista, Drew McIntyre, and more. Is set to release September 13th. Probably go watch and give you guys a review as well, as that looks very, very interesting. With a hitman pretty much being told that he is possibly gonna die soon, pulls out a contract on himself, and then shit happens. Obviously, it's gonna be a mayhem. I'm excited for that. Also excited for Vox Machina season 3, set to come out October 3rd. This season I'll probably do a reacts to putting out videos weekly or bi-weekly here. Depends how it works out. But season 3 I'll be doing a live reacts for you guys, and letting it out as it comes around. Also Beetlejuice is set to release September 6th, tomorrow. Probably won't be watching it right away. I need to rewatch the first one. Have not seen it since I was young, so I'll get you a review when I definitely watch that. Also September 20th, Transformers 1, which is the animated movie that's coming out. Interested to see what's that about, but these are all just shows and movies that's coming out the next till December, that I'm talking about, that interest me. Also on October 24th, the day after my birthday, Joker oNFL. I think just Joker number 2 is set to release on October 24th. Can't wait for that. Joker, or the first one, was very good. I'm excited for that one. Another movie coming out here October 11th is an animated movie from Japan, based on the anime My Hero Academia. The My Hero Academia You're Next. Um, very, I'm very excited for that. I'm a big fan of My Hero Academia, especially now that it's pretty much ending this year. The anime. Um, Gonna have to rewatch the whole thing again. October 25th, also being released, is Venom: The Last Dance. Still need to finish. I still need to watch the second one. So excited for that though, regardless. And I'll get you guys a review. Very excited for these last two. On November 15th, Red One, which is the Santa-based action movie with The Rock and Chris Evans, I believe. Yeah, looks very good, very funny. Excited to see the slap bet part where The Rock gets slapped the shit out of. And then the last one talking about now, Craven the Hunter, after a year of being postponed, finally being released December 13th. Hopefully, there's still time for them to move it. Hopefully, they do not. Excited for that, definitely. And I'll get you reviews or reacts as more come out, more trailers for you guys, so you guys buy more content. But other than that, that's been Joker's Wild Side Corner. Also, remember to subscribe and follow. Leave a comment of anything that you want me to watch, talk about, review. Leave it in the comments. Also, be grateful for everything you have. Be grateful for all the problems you don't have, as it can always be much, much worse. Just look around in the news. Also, for anybody going through anything, reach out to someone you love. We all go through our stuff, but there's hotlines out there to go talk to. Reach out here or on our socials. I'm always available, so just reach out to somebody. There's somebody always there to listen. Remember, you're not alone. But other than that, I've been Lobo, and this was Joker's Wild Side Corner. See ya.